Upon reviewing the 15 videos, I'd like to make it clear, especially to Derrin Brown, that when I asked him to come and review this stuff with me, I wasn't really talking so much about the Elgar Enigma, which I've uncovered, I believe, and also really just talking about Cardinal Newman, because Cardinal Newman went through a very much more complicated process than Elgar doing his kind of twisty tower to the top, step by step revelation, peeling off the laminates. Newman went through a very different process, and he, delved into Kabbalism, particularly kind of the Hebrew language, the Greek language, numerology, connecting the numbers. I learned so much because the Greeks are also a dual system where each letter is attributed to a number. This is about psyops. It's about Newman targeting General Gordon in encryption. It's about Elgar uncovering that encryption and believing that Newman targeted General Gordon. It's about General Gordon believing he was being targeted by Newman, but not quite knowing how he did it. And it's about Gordon eventually dying. So there seemed to be some efficacy to the attack. Eventually, it was just 2 days of administrative delays, which, caused the reinforcements to turn up 2 days too late. Anybody who's seen Derrin Brown's shows will know that if he decided that he was going to create some scenario and engineer a 2 day delay, there'd be very, very few people who could resist going along with his machinations. That's the kind of guy he is. He's also a very kind guy because he shows us how weak we are. No, I don't think anybody takes insult. I understand that there's a few Americans insulted by his shows, but I'm not one of them. I'm very much a big fan of the debugging and the decrypting of this crappy brainwash that most people subject themselves and are subjected to. This is about the fact that EFB was an insult to Newman. He said, if you can summon up all these nasty demons and do all of these nasty sort of deep seller stuff, then, I'd like to counter that with the mighty Bark, whose fortress is truly much more great than yours. And Elgar killed a phrase, not a person,